Hi, Gavin. How you doing this afternoon or tonight?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Doing great. Just back from a football game there, so all's good.
You're playing or your family's playing?
Oh, my kids, yeah,
Yeah,
my
your
kids were
kids?
playing. Yeah, so I just got back there, so it's early afternoon here in Ireland right now, so all is good.
Did they win?
They did. They
Oh,
did.
that's good. Very
It's
good.
always good. It's always good.
Do you or your family follow that Wrexham FC?
Yeah, I did actually. I found it quite interesting. I guess it's these guys in Hollywood that kind of, I guess they have too much money.
Yeah, that's right.
They're all jumping on a Tom Brady's at it too now. But I guess it's like that underdog story where, the team that's rooted down in the lower leagues is slowly climbing the ladder. And who doesn't love an underdog?
Absolutely. I heard on one of your podcasts previously that you've been to America to play soccer?
No, no, no. I
Oh, you went
lived
to
over.
watch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ah,
No,
okay.
I spent 4 years in New Jersey
Okay.
and kind of bounced around there, caught a couple of shows, caught a lot of shows actually. That was the compared to Ireland, where a lot of bands kind of Ireland, we can skip it, or maybe we'll go. We don't always get the big dogs, but
Yes.
living over there every week, there was somebody different. I have a crazy taste in music, as you can probably see from around me here. I
Yeah.
have a lot
Yeah.
of different genres, and not just heavy stuff. I listen to rap and pop and everything. I've caught everything from Dave Matthews Band comes to mind, Noel Gallagher, Metallica, of course, Iron Maiden, um,
Oh,
a lot of different stuff. Yeah.
yeah. And why is that? Why don't they come to Ireland? And it's very similar to Australia as well. Like we will get them eventually, but they'll do two or three tours of Europe or Metallica, for example. They haven't come 12 or 13 years. Like they're coming in November, but
Of course, yeah.
uh,
I guess it's probably logistics and stuff,
yeah.
but what I think is Ireland is getting better, but like early, I don't know if you've seen on our podcast, we did a kind of backstory of the Slane Castle shows, and we were shown
Yes.
that from 1981, where there was a lot of stuff going on in Ireland that we
Yes.
don't have to get into politics and all that stuff, where bands definitely were afraid to come to Ireland, and
Yeah.
it was kind of a dream that this Lord Mount Henry had in Slane Castle, and he brought Thin Lizzy, the Rolling Stones, Bruce Springsteen, and that was like nobody had ever seen anything like that. So that was probably the start of it. But I think more recently, boring facts like insurance reasons and all
Yeah.
this stuff is the problem. But look at our boys are coming to Dublin next year,
Come
so I can't.
on.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can't give out too much.
Absolutely. Just going back to the soccer, that you
Yes,
are contemplating going to
World
the
Cup.
US, or is it going
That's
to be Metallica?
That is a good story. Yeah. So some of my friends aren't too happy with me. So me and my buddies were all turning 40 next year. Kind of school friends that we grew up with. And, we have a WhatsApp group and we're very close and stuff. So one of my buddies had this brainwave a couple of years ago, like, oh, he worked it out. Like, if we put away $10 a week for the next 6 years and we go to America to the World Cup, we'll have like $7,000 each, and it'd be like a free trip, and we'll never see $10 going away a week. And we're like, yeah, cool, cool, cool. So everything was sweet. And then I started to hear whispers that Metallica was coming to Dublin. And I'm like, okay, okay. And then it dropped and it was like June 20 something, whatever it is. I'm like, that's around the time the World Cup will be on. So then, as I was doing chats on our podcast with fans that have been to shows in the US, the current tour and like that, and I'm kind of learning about the I Disappear pass and all that, and I'm like,
Yes.
interesting, interesting. So I weighed up my options and I'm like, you know what? I'm buying an I Disappear ticket.
Come
So
on.
I bought the I Disappear ticket and I've booked Greece, Budapest, Frankfurt, Dublin, of course, Glasgow, and London. So
Come
then I had
on.
to go and tell my boys that I said, yeah, I'm out. They're like, what? They're like, You're going to all these Metallica shows. They're like, is it not the same thing over and over and over? I'm like, no, you don't get it. It's more than the show. It's the
That's right.
experience. It's meeting the people. It's so much more than just going to a concert. And of course, it's a no repeat weekend in each city. I know
Yes.
cities will get repeated, certain songs now. But as you know, I'm sure it's
Yes.
more than. As I said to the boys, there'll be more World Cups. I don't know how long the boys are
Yes,
going to.
absolutely. And I'm just thinking, and no disrespect, but are Ireland going to get into the World
Oh,
Cup? Or they
probably not. But
ah,
no, probably
right,
not.
right.
And but it's kind of like we're all big soccer fans, and we kind of said, look, we know Ireland's ability here. They're probably not going to get to
Yeah,
it.
right.
But I think they've opened it up. It used to be, oh,
Yeah,
I'm going
yeah,
to
they
say like
have.
26 teams. It's going to be extra teams.
Yeah.
But we said like we'll put a load of countries in a hat and pull out a country and just follow that country just for the
Yes.
fun. So anyway, it'll have to wait for another 4 years maybe. But my boys are going ahead anyway. But I'll be
Come
happy
on.
touring around Europe and following the boys.
Absolutely. I might even have to join you in Europe next year. It's still undecided. And just recently, Australia just qualified for the World Cup. So that gives me another incentive to go over there. And it's always the same every World Cup. We get in and go, yes. And then it's like, oh, yeah, you've got Germany, France,
Yeah.
and Chile in your division. It's like, ah. So,
But it's an experience. Like I remember talking to like my parents, and my dad went to the World Cup in '94 in America.
oh,
Like in
yeah,
Ireland
right.
were a huge underdog, and they ended up beating Italy, and they
Wow.
they were the only team to beat Italy that whole World Cup apart from Brazil in the final. So like them moments are worth it. Even if you get bet by six teams, if you can beat a big dog once, that's the one. That's the story you'll remember.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's switch topics for a little bit. Ozzy Osbourne,
Yeah.
huge story. I've already noticed you've done it on your podcast already, but what did Ozzy mean to you? Do you have any stories about Ozzy seeing him play live? Or I know
Yeah.
you've got the poster in the background there as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I never caught him live, believe it or not.
Really?
I guess it was, I don't know why it never kind of came up. And I'll hold my hands up. I came to the Black Sabbath party pretty late.
Hmm.
Growing up, as I said earlier, I had a crazy taste in music where I was getting influenced by a neighbor of mine who was kind of the gatekeeper of all the music world for me. And he was giving me everything from Pantera to Iron Maiden to Garth Brooks to
Come on.
Nickelback. Yeah, he everything, such a mad range of stuff. And he used to say to me, don't laugh at Garth Brooks. I'm like, he's
Yeah,
an artist. He's performing. He's doing his
yeah,
thing. Just because
yeah,
it's not the same as Metallica, it's still a guy
exactly.
up there doing his trade. So I grew to appreciate the uh the entertainer, everything that comes with the music. But Ozzy, yeah, I have to hold my hands up, and I can't lie that I definitely was late to the party. As I got older, then I appreciated how important he was for the likes of Metallica, for the likes of Maiden, for the likes of
Yeah.
everything in heavy metal, new metal, all that stuff. And what a cool guy he was.
Yeah.
Like growing up with the Osbournes, like it was. I really think deep down that, some people might say, oh, Ozzy was this and he was that and he was a silly fool. Ozzy was more clever than I think we'll all know. I think he knew how to play up to the cameras. He knew
Oh, of
how to
course.
keep relevant. He knew how to entertain. But as somebody said to me recently, don't be sad he's gone, be happy it happened.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and it was more so about the show in Birmingham, which a guy I was
Oh,
chatting to.
yeah.
But we did a live feed and it didn't come across great. It was kind of lagging and stuff. But the more I chatted to the guys that were at the show in Birmingham and huge Aussie fans, I kind of felt, I know this sounds strange, but I kind of felt almost happy
Yeah.
that he got to go out the way he did.
Yeah.
It obviously took a lot out of him, Craig, like going to that show and putting on that thing. But I mean, if you could write a script for a rock star to go out, it's not a bad way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And apparently that's what Tony Iommi was saying. He he got to that. That was his goal to get to that last show and get fit and get ready and just like this is the last time. And he got there. So
Yeah.
just yeah, credit to him. And my dad had all the Sabbath albums, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, Ultimate Sin with Ozzy Osbourne. I was playing his records as a kid, and just like with Kiss, it would scare me, and but I was so intrigued.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and then later on when I got older, I sort of went into their back catalog and all that. So, but yeah, the only time that I got to see them, Ozzy play, I saw Black Sabbath without, with Ronnie James Dio.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
yeah, so that was really cool. I saw the 30th anniversary shows in San Francisco,
Oh.
and
Oh.
Ozzy was a guest, so
Mm.
he come out and he just an entertainer.
He was like a jester, wasn't he?
Yeah, an amazing performer, and yeah, he'll be sadly missed, definitely.
Oh,
But
he'd be hugely missed. Like
yeah.
you can see how much he meant to them. And you know what I thought about Craig too was the photograph that they took, Ross Halfon took with the whole lot of them. That's a moment in history now,
Oh
definitely.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, like
definitely.
even more, it feels so weird talking to him about him in the past tense, even still, even though it's a couple of days now, but it definitely feels weird. And the family, obviously, well, we don't know how, we weren't part of the family, but looking into their world, they were very tight.
Oh yes, yes.
That's going to be devastating for them. He was
Yeah.
so good with his kids. It looked like, he was so good and very protective. And, they were a tight, tight unit. So definitely
Yeah.
thoughts and prayers with them at this time.
Yeah, him and Sharon were a great pair.
Yeah.
Like he was the entertainer, she was like the running the show behind the scenes. So everyone talks about how Sharon is a hard bargainer. So do you have a favorite Aussie album or
The Black Sabbath stuff,
yeah?
I'd probably say a mix of the first two. Mix of the first two Sabbaths,
Okay.
I'd say. Yeah, yeah. And then the Blizzard of Oz probably. But uh some of the music, like I
Yeah.
think everybody's been listening to Ozzy since the
Yeah.
news, like, and going back over some of the records, like it's so good.
Yeah.
So good. His solo stuff is just amazing. But
Yeah.
he had
Oh,
A-list musicians
definitely.
with him, like
Definitely.
my God.
Yeah.
But the whole thing, the production, the sound, everything is it's some brilliant, brilliant stuff. I really
Yeah.
enjoy going back listening to it.
And that Sabbath stuff, I mean, we've probably talked about it thousands of times, but those riffs
Yeah.
and just to think that that was done 40, 50 years ago, some of those songs
Yeah.
is just incredible. No one was doing that at the time, so
No.
that's what makes it so original. So
And
yeah.
they were so naive too as well. Like I think they were part the way they got as big as they did. Like it felt like I'd seen an interview actually this morning. I think I was watching, and Ozzy was like, "We didn't expect to get this. We were playing in bars in Birmingham, and next thing we're in Europe, and then the next thing we're all over America, and it was
Yeah.
a whirlwind.
Oh
But
yeah.
and one thing I love about Ozzy is that he always seemed to be and genuinely appreciative of his fans. Like, when
Oh,
people say,
definitely.
"Oh, I love you," no, he's like, "No, I love you guys. You got me here."
Yeah. And all those
That's one thing.
and all those bands, including Metallica, that got their start with Ozzy,
Oh yeah,
brought them huge fan base. Like, got to give him credit for
oh yeah,
the longevity and just continually making music. And he still wanted to make another album,
yeah. I know.
but Sharon's just going, "You got to stop."
Kicking myself too. I had a ticket for the Birmingham show and I had to give it up,
Oh,
and I'm kicking myself now. I didn't go, but what can you do?
there'll be plenty more shows for you, mate. Don't worry.
Yes, 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 yes.
So tell me about your podcast. You're the co-host of the That Sound podcast. How did this all come about?
It's a good question. So me and my buddy Luke, who I do the podcast with, Luke's a drummer, and we started working together in a kind of a workshop, garage kind of a place, a tire shop, and always chatting music. You know, the hard rock stuff, it's kind of hard to come across friends, that really,
Yes.
well, you like that stuff? Oh, you like that stuff? So we clicked straight away, and we were always chatting music, talking albums for the past 10, 15 years. Luke got more into recording, and he was recording drum tracks and
Yeah, right.
um for records and stuff like that. And I happened to be in the studio one day, and I'm looking around. I'm like, kind of took some mental notes, and then one day we were in the gym together, and I'm like, all them kind of mics and stuff you have, because I have no idea of equipment and stuff like that. I'm like, could we use them as like vocal mics? And he's like, it wouldn't be ideal, but yeah, we could get away with it. He's like, why? I'm like, let's do a podcast. He goes, what? I'm like, let's do a podcast. I said, both of us have a general knowledge of music.
Yes.
Um, let's just see what happens. So that was March of 24. Around that, we got some local musicians in and
Oh yeah.
some local bands, and we started small, and not that we're big now, but just messing really and chatting and finding people's stories and what music meant to them growing up, and kind of just snowballed. And then we got Cone from Sum 41 on.
Oh nice.
And then we got there was an Irish guitarist. I don't know if you're familiar with Rory Gallagher.
Gallagher.
Uh,
No, no.
yeah, he's a very underrated guitarist too.
Hmm.
Do yourself a favor, look him up.
All
You'll
right.
see Jimmy Page. Um, what do you call him from Queen?
Brian May.
Brian May.
Yeah.
They all quote him as like that. That's Jimi Hendrix was once quoted. Someone asked him, "What does it feel like to be the greatest guitarist?" He's like, "Ask Rory Gallagher." So
Wow.
he's like, yeah, but I got his bass player on too, Jerry McAvoy,
Yeah.
who's still playing. Rory's unfortunately not with us anymore. Um, yeah, got him on, and then we got to a couple of festivals, and we got just chatting. And me and Luke always loved Metallica. I'm like, let's go
Yeah.
deep into Metallica. Let's do some album reviews of Metallica. And
Yeah.
then I started reaching out to people who were at shows and kind of getting the feedback of the shows, and kind of went from there. And it's fun, man. I enjoy
Yeah.
it. Like, as I said to him, if 10 people listen to us, great. You know
Yeah.
what? I don't care how many, I'm having fun. And
That's it.
I'm learning every day too. And you get to talk to cool people from all over the world and make new friendships. And that's what
That's
I love about it.
And that's the one thing that I get out of it as well, learning about it and studying up on these people that you might not know everything about, but you always want to make sure that you've got enough information. And yeah, I'm learning so much about it. So I definitely agree with
Yeah.
you on that.
Yeah. No, just one more door that it opened was the Slane Castle thing. So
Oh,
we
yes.
we done the reviews of Slane Castle, and then so I have a mutual friend who knows the guy who now lives in Slane Castle, and he organizes it. Anyone that doesn't know, Slane Castle is a big venue in Ireland that
Yeah.
the biggest and best have played. It's an outdoor festival, 80,000 people. It's a big castle with a natural amphitheater, they call it. But anyway, so he seen that we were doing the reviews and putting our own twist on it and making small YouTube videos that's up there on our channel. And he was like, "Oh, these guys are pretty cool."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Come on, send him a message. See if he'll
Yeah.
let us go up and interview him."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't want to make it awkward for him." So I'm like, "What's the worst you can say? No."
Yeah.
So next minute, about 2 days later, I get a text message. Be at Slane Castle, Friday at 12 o'clock. You have an interview. I'm like,
Wow.
no way. So we sat down, we went up to the castle, and Alex, who grew up with these rock stars playing in his backyard. And like I said, Thin Lizzy, Rolling Stones, Bruce Springsteen, Metallica, Oasis, Kings of Leon, Guns N' Roses, like everybody. So to get his side of the story growing up as a kid with these, getting to party with them, it
Wow.
was wild.
Yeah.
But then when we recorded, his dad, who started it all off, unfortunately passed away.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was kind of like, oh God, we have to be respectful now when we release this. So yeah, we waited a couple of weeks, and I touched base with Alex, and he was like, no, no, put it out there. He's like, people would, my dad didn't want this, and it
yeah.
was a crazy story. Yeah, it's up on our YouTube channel. It's a very interesting watch if anybody wants to check it out.
Absolutely. What a great way. And what do you have plans for the future for your podcast?
Yeah, we have a couple of people scheduled here and there, but
Mm.
to be honest, we started recently. We're going to do the whole discography of Thin Lizzy.
Oh yeah,
We're going
right.
we're going to go through each album and kind of give a quick review and rank each song. And between that, we'll be jumping on with people. We're going to do some Sabbath stuff that's, relevant
Nice.
right now, of course, and
Nice.
Ozzy stuff. We don't have any big musicians booked in at the minute because it's kind of festival season over here in
Yes.
Europe, and it's very hard to nail anybody down. But yeah, look, we kind of just go with the flow. We've done a lot of Metallica content. We
Yes.
covered nearly every show in the North American tour, kind of getting an inside view from people who attended them, from the Snake bit, from
Come on.
people who are in with the crew members. I'm sure you
Right.
know plenty too.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was fun, and I really enjoyed that. And like Craig, like yourself, you said maybe you might come to Europe. What I found talking to these guys in America, um, they were like, "Oh, I'm going to Europe next year, and oh, I think I'll come to Dublin." I'm like, "Okay, I got to look after these guys," and I think that's
Yeah.
part of the Gallagher
Yes.
family. Like, okay, do you need somewhere to stay? Or let me point you in the right direction. Or don't go here and stay here, and stay out of there and travel this way. And that's what I love about the Metallica family as such. We all
Yeah.
look out for each other, and I'm really, really looking forward to next year and looking after all my Metallica family all over the world.
And you just touched on that, the Metallica family, like you said at the start, a lot of, maybe not a lot, but some don't understand what that really is. I went to the Denver show at a couple of last month,
Yeah, all right.
and yeah, and I hadn't seen those guys from the US. Just as soon as I got there, bam, meeting just friends that I haven't seen for 4 or 5 years, and then all of a sudden you're flying over there for their wedding, and they're from all over the world, Gavin. They just
Yeah,
come across some
yeah.
very, very nice people. So,
I'm
um,
really looking forward to because we were in Madrid last year and
oh,
meeting
me
people.
too. I
Oh,
was
were you?
there. I was
All right.
there. I went to Poland and Madrid. So, Gavin, I just want to go quickly back. So, you're from Ireland, obviously. Whereabouts did you grow up? Tell me about growing up in Ireland.
Yeah, so I was born in 1986. At that time in Ireland, there was a lot of stuff going on politically with Northern Ireland and Ireland and stuff like
Oh,
that. So
yes.
it was quite hectic. Obviously, I was young, but you kind of grew up where you were kind of afraid to go here or there. I lived right on the border,
Right.
so it was quite awkward at times. But by the time I got into like six, seven, eight, things had calmed down.
Mm.
But I was big into sport growing up. I'm a big Manchester United fan, and
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Gavin. We
Oh
have
no,
a bit of a
don't tell me you're a Liverpool fan.
unfortunately, yes.
All
So
right.
we're gonna stop this interview right now? No, it's okay.
No, but yeah, no. I think a lot of us have the same story, right? So I was into sport and I was kind of fine trying. I was always into music.
Did you play music?
I played bass a little bit. Now I wouldn't even
Okay.
call myself a bass player, but I played a little bit. We had a pub band and simple stuff we played. I actually played
Yeah.
some Sabbath, played
No.
Power Night, remember? But yeah, always into music, and I always a big appreciation for my neighbor, who I said earlier. I remember my first memory of hard rock was in my neighbor's house in 1992, and it was Def Leppard, Let's Get Rocked.
Nice. Come on.
So I have that memory in my mind in his kind of front sitting room, and he had big speakers and pumping out the music. And then when he knew that I was into that music, I remember, I'm not sure exactly what order it was, but I remember getting the Black Album. And he said, I think he burned it onto a tape for me, and he's like, "Go listen to that." So I was like, Enter Sandman, of course, and
Mm.
rocking away. And I remember Sad But True and all these songs. And I think like a week passed, and he's like, "Well, what did you think?" I'm like, "Loved it." And then I think he goes, "Try this one," and it was Justice.
No.
And he goes, "Now this is different." He's like, this is more fast, heavy
Mm.
thrash. I didn't know what thrash was. I was like,
Yeah.
he's like, don't let your mother hear you playing it. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And I remember that the picture was on it, and I'm like, this is cool. Like, what is this? That green and the statue and everything. I'm like, oh. And then I played it, and that was it. I'm like, give me more. Give me more. But my biggest problem was then the kind of group of friends that I had that I touched on that were all sports fans didn't listen
Mm.
to this stuff, you
Yeah.
know? So like they'd be like, Metallica. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, Metallica. I'm like, I like them. Shut up, in my head. So like, and then when we went to secondary school, that's when it all opened, and I met
Mm.
people from different towns, and I seen people wearing Megadeth t-shirts,
Oh
and
yes.
Lamb of God and Metallica, and so I'm like, okay, Slayer, and I'm like, all right, okay. But the new metal was big then, and then kind of I always stayed with my friends that kind of slag Metallica and are not into it. And they're the guys that's going to the World
Mm.
Cup. But like okay, Gavin has his music friends and he has these. I talk to everybody. So my first live show was Foo Fighters in
Oh,
Dublin.
that's a good start.
Yeah, it was the one by one on one. What was
Oh
that
yes.
album? One by
Yeah.
one. Yeah, so that was my first one. I think I was like, oh God, 14, 15, maybe 14, 15.
Yeah.
We got a bus up to Dublin and oh, that was a blast.
Yeah.
And then them few years were crazy. So like Foo Fighters came and then Metallica came in '03
Oh yeah.
with, was it Slipknot was the first year? Yeah, they came 2 years in a row. They came '03, then they came in '04, and then they came '06. But I remember seeing Slipknot opening for them.
Oh yeah.
And I was kind of like, I liked my heavy stuff. I liked like obviously Justice and all the Metallica stuff. But like when Slipknot came out and that self-titled album, I'm like, this is another level. I don't know if I like this. And I remember we were sitting outside the kind of pre-gaming, as you call it, a few beers before going in, and my cousin was begging me, please come into Slipknot with me, please. I'm like, I don't know, they're very heavy. I don't know. And he goes, please, please, please. So I'm like, okay, I'll go in. One of the best shows I ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That was Slipknot in the prime, Joey, everybody there.
All the drums all the percussionists on the side of the stage. It was just a full on
And
metal show.
they were wild. They were launching the beer kegs at each other. And I got to see them actually. Whatever way we walked into the venue, there was like the fencing, with the green stuff so you can't see in. And I was seeing these like 10 guys just like with a load of people around them. And I seen the jumpsuits. I'm like, it's fucking Slipknot. So, like, we're calling out to them and I got a handshake. I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Um, and then Metallica came on and that just blew my mind. I'm like, this is what I want to go to all the time. I want to be at these events. Everybody with what I want, like-minded people who love this heavy stuff. And like my parents and stuff be like, they'll all be crazy at these shows. They're lunatics. I'm like, quickly figured that they're the most gentle people in the world.
Yes. Yes.
You know, I remember going into a mosh pit. I was only like 17 or something, and I fell, and like this guy came and looked like a Viking, just like picked me up. He's like, "You all right, kid?" I'm like, "Yeah." And like, "Go again." And I'm like, "Okay, they want me to have fun, but they have my back." And ever since, man, as you know, it's the best thing ever. Live
Yeah.
shows,
Yeah.
you know.
Absolutely.
And
You
one of
get
the
a
best ones I ever seen was Metallica done the whole Master of Puppets album in Dublin in '06.
Oh yeah. Right. Wow.
That was mind blowing, mind blowing.
Very very cool. And was that at the Slane?
No, so they done Slane in 2019.
19, right. Because my dad always watches the video of that show, Whiskey in the Jar.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And he's playing that song on repeat. It's like,
yeah. I'm
so,
actually I'm actually in the video of the Slane Castle for
oh, hey, yeah, right.
Memory Remains. I'm in that video. You can't miss me. I'm like
Ah.
red like an eagle, and I'm in the crowd. Yeah, but no, Metallica used to play in this venue called the RDS. It was like a small enough. Well, not small. It was an outdoor venue. It's actually a
Mm.
show jumping venue, like for horses. But I guess there probably was about 30,000, 40,000. But next year they're playing in the Aviva. It's called. It's where it's the big soccer stadium.
Oh yeah, right.
So yeah, yeah. So yeah, a lot of different stuff growing up. But that was kind of my path. I was just my path was really trying to find the right friends to go to these shows with. That's what I found was the hardest part. And then when I found them, they were everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and you go to these shows, and it's the same people
Yeah.
every show, and it's like, hey, we need
Yeah.
to be friends. I've seen you like at the last 10 shows.
Yeah, and what's even helped more is the podcast that people have reached out and even people that I grew up with. And it's like they are in the position where I was years ago and they're the same age as me. They're like, I didn't know you were into all that music.
Yes,
Yeah. It's like, actually, I should have talked to you 20 years ago. I'm
that's
like,
right.
yeah, and they're like, you know so much about Metallica. And I'm like, well, I know a little bit, but they're like, oh, I wish I knew that. It's like people are afraid to come out of their shell.
Yes.
You know, I'm like, as my years went gone on, I'm kind of at the stage where I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, I am what I am. If you don't like it, bye bye.
Yeah. That's it. I
Yeah.
totally agree. You get to that certain age, and it's like,
I'm not
oh,
pretending anymore.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Just
Yeah.
call it,
If you
call us.
take you think I'm weird and I'm whatever, good. I don't
Yeah,
care,
call us
good
spade
for
a
you.
spade. I put that I had gone to America. I'm getting people still friends for years. You're still going. Why? Why are you
I
still
know.
go? Why are you still going to these shows? And it's like, why not?
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
get, I don't get a reply back.
Yeah.
It's like Metallica aren't 20 years old anymore. They're my favorite
Yeah.
band. I want to see them as much as I can before they give it up. So especially with Lars, I mean Lars is hitting it as hard, playing as hard as he ever has, in my
That,
opinion.
that Madrid show, that's the last one I've been to, and they blew me away how tight they were. And even at obviously being biased, of course, I think what have you got?
The Madrid show. That's
Oh
James.
wow.
That's James.
Wow. Nice.
While we were talking before, you were telling me about that you actually lived in Australia for 12 months. Tell me about that experience.
Yeah, I think at the time everybody from Ireland was going to Australia. That's where the dreams were being made in Australia. So yeah, I went from America. I came
Was
home
this
to
after your university or?
yeah, 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 yeah. So I kind of went out there, didn't really plan on staying as long as I did, and I ended up staying, and then I came back to Ireland, and I'm like, oh, everybody's doing the same thing here as when I left. I'm like, I'm going somewhere else. I was just traveling, man. I love traveling.
Yeah.
So me and my then girlfriend, we went. The plan was to go to Perth, because everybody was going to Perth,
Okay.
but um, my wife wasn't keen on going to the mines and
Oh
working.
yeah.
I'm like, look, if we want to make good money, we got to go out and do this. And she, oh, I want to work in the city. I'm like, oh God, okay. So I kind of had to do that. I couldn't leave her. So yeah, we stayed in Perth for a while. I just worked any job just to get by and travel and see the
Yeah.
place. But we didn't really. Perth was so hot too. Oh my God! And
In the
we stayed.
summertime. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like January or something like that, and ended up not really finding anything that we really wanted. And then I sent a message to my cousin who was living in Melbourne, and she's like, "Come over here. I'll put you up for like a week or two, and you'll find work no problem." So we up and went to Melbourne, and instantly I loved Melbourne.
Yeah.
It felt more. I,
At
I
home.
yeah, like I don't know what it was. Going from like New Jersey, New York area, and then going to Perth. I'm like, this is pretty small. Like it's
Yeah.
like three streets, King Street, I remember, and I'm
Yes.
like, this is not what I expected. It's a bit boring. I'm like, and then my cousin was like, no, Melbourne is where it's at. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
so Melbourne, and I loved it. I really did. All the sport there, Formula
Yes.
One, the tennis, the Rod
Oh,
Laver.
yes.
You know, I played a bit of football out there then too, just messing around. And my cousins were there, and I ended up working in a garage. I worked in a tire shop,
There you go.
and yeah, and just had fun. Just took it easy for a year. I'm just trying to think, did I go to any shows
That's what I
when
was
I?
going to ask you because
Yeah,
they always stop in Melbourne.
what year was that? I was out there in like 12.
Did you see a big day out or Soundwave
I don't
Download
think I
Festival?
I don't think I did. I went I went to Creamfields.
Creamfields.
Yeah, that was
So,
in that was the race course out in Fleming race
oh yeah,
course. It
yeah, right, right. Okay.
was all DJs and stuff. As I said, my taste in music is absolutely mental. Uh David Guetta played, and yeah, that was a heavy night.
Come on. Any plans to go back there or?
Um I think I'm not going to say no, but I feel like I've done a lot while I was there. I got to see Perth, I got to Sydney, got to Brisbane, got to Melbourne. I went up to one of the best trips I ever done was up to Early Beach,
Oh yeah.
and we went out to Fraser Island,
Oh, very
and
cool.
that was amazing. You know, the Aboriginal, you know, you could see a little bit of the tribes, and we went out on the jeeps and 4x4 jeeping and backpacking as such on the island for a few days, and kind of being isolated, you know, even though you weren't really isolated, but you kind of were a little bit. You know, no, no, like if you got in trouble, you had to be airlifted, you know, which it
Yeah.
actually did happen. One girl's appendix busted.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, like the chances, and you had to get
Yeah.
airlifted. But
Oh,
I remember, I'm not sure if you probably are aware of Fraser Island,
yeah.
the Indian Head, the big Aborigine cliff. We climbed up on top of it, which was insane too, barefoot. But I remember looking down and seeing the clear,
Barefoot.
yeah, yeah, clear
Crazy
as water
Irishman.
I ever seen in my life. And all you could see was like, because they told us like, we are not messing around here. Do not go into the sea, to the ocean. Like there is tiger sharks. Like
Oh,
we're not messing around. We're like, it'll probably just, you know, health and safety. But we got up on top of the Indian Head, and we were looking there, and man, all you could see was just tiger sharks just circling. I'm like, I ain't even putting my toe in there. No way. But what an experience. And then we went up to Early Beach, and we got on, I remember it was called the Clipper boat. And we went out to the Whitsunday Islands, and we
oh
seen a
yeah.
little bit of Barrier Reef, and done scuba diving up there. And see, I feel like I'd done a lot in that year, so I might have
Yeah.
ticked the box. I don't know. It's so far from here, you know. But one of my good mates, who's I was supposed to go to the World Cup with, is in, where is he? He's in Perth right now, so
Okay.
I might visit him someday.
Did you see the Bon Scott Memorial there?
I didn't even know it was there.
Oh
Damn,
yeah.
that
Yeah,
that would have been nice.
that was the first thing actually I did when I got there. Flew straight in there, and I was like, "Okay, can you tell me where the Bon Scott Memorial is?" And it was this huge,
I,
huge, huge sign. You had to sign your name in to go in there. This was the first time. It was Metallica. Had the Metallica shirt on. The girl said, "Let me guess, you're here for the Bon Scott?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he said, "Go down that way and turn right." And I was like, "Thank you." And then they've got the statue there outside as well. So yeah, it's really cool.
have they got something in Scotland as well?
I'm sure they would. Yes.
I think there is. I think there is. Was it Edinburgh or something there they were
I
born?
The Angus brothers, they're Scottish.
Oh, maybe that's it.
I think
Bon
Bond
was.
was from Perth.
What a
And
great band live too. I've seen them a few times. What a show. Brilliant.
uh they're our band.
Yeah.
Actually, that was the first show that I went to when I
Oh, nice.
was 15 years old. AC/DC at the Sydney Entertainment Centre for the Ball Breaker tour. Oh, that was so loud. They
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
but they were just on fire. Phil Rudd just came back in the band, and a fan was born right there. Like I wanted to get a
But
guitar. I wanted to I
Yeah,
was just going to any show that I could go to.
I
Yeah.
got a kind of insight into there was a band called The Answer who supported AC/DC on the Black Ice tour.
Oh yeah.
And he's an Irish guy, an Irish band. They are from Northern Ireland, and Cormac Neeson was the lead singer. And I got to have a chat with him. It's on a podcast too. He's in a band now called When Ireland Rocked, and they're doing all these kind of Thin Lizzy and Rory Gallagher. You got to check out Rory. He's amazing.
Okay.
Um, but he was telling me stories about Malcolm and Angus and how cool
Wow.
they were on tour, and you know, they done the whole North American tour, the whole world tour with them, and they Malcolm and Angus picked them out. They went to see them in London, and they were like, "That's the band we want opening for us."
Wow.
Um, and they were, they were not very well known. The Answer, like sometimes they tell the story like the Who. I'm like, they supported AC/DC for a solid year all
Yeah.
over the
Wow.
world. But he said he told me one story about Malcolm, and he said that they were on stage. You know, you kind of stay in your lane as the support act. You don't interfere with the. But he said they were on stage, and Malcolm came straight up to him like, "Look, if you have any problems with, anything, sound or equipment not being on time, he's like, come to me. Don't worry about them, bookworms there. Come to me, and I'll sort it out."
Yeah,
And he was like,
right.
so cool of him to come and just speak to them and be real.
Yeah, absolutely.
He had nothing but great things to say about the band. He said it was amazing to support them. They opened for them in Ireland in God, oh 08, I think it was as well.
Wow.
Or maybe it was later. Maybe it was 10. Whatever it was, but he said it was just a dream come true. Like they played Madison Square Garden, all these big.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I'm
it
not,
was cool to chat to him.
I wonder if they did any shows in Australia with them. Because I've seen them on nearly every tour since that one. And it's very ironic that they're coming in November as well. And I think these will be the last shows, but they've been saying the last shows for 30 years.
I
Um,
know.
but they're doing it in between the Metallica shows as well. So, and then we've got Oasis coming, and then we've also got actually Lenny Kravitz, and he's actually coming to my hometown. Lenny
What's
Kravitz,
your take
Oasis.
on the Oasis reunion?
Oh, I think it's good that they're back. I haven't got a ticket, but I'd like to go. I'd like to go and see it. Probably want. I've never seen them play, so
Yeah.
I'd like to see them before they call it a day. I've seen them both solo.
Yes.
Um, that was so funny. He got booed off the stage, and
No way.
the only time that they cheered was when they played Morning
Uh,
Glory.
yes, yes, yes,
Morning
yes.
Glory. So they played that as the only Oasis song, and then he finished off with another original, and he got booed off, and then he gave the finger and walked off the
Was this Liam, was it?
yeah, Liam, yeah, and he
Yeah, yeah.
walked off the stage and in a hussy fit, and
I've caught them a couple of times, and I've seen.
what do you
I
think?
haven't seen.
What's the reviews been for the new shows?
Good, but
Okay,
what I've heard and what I've seen is that how can I say this without being an ass?
no,
The fans that are at it look like assholes.
right,
It's all young guys, and I'm sure they're heavily influenced with not just alcohol, and
yeah,
there's
right.
a lot of fights being happening at the shows, a
Mm.
lot of people sneaking in, and a lot of trouble. They're playing in Ireland now. I just talked to one of my daughter's parents who was at the football this morning. He's like, I just got a ticket. I'm like, okay, how much did you pay? He's like €500. Oh, I'm like,
Oof.
Jesus Christ. And that's how much they were going for. They
And
had
where
that
and
money
where
going up on Ticketmaster, whatever that word is, I can't think.
and where are you,
Um,
where are they sitting? They might not even be sitting at the front for
he,
£500.
no, he's on
Oh,
the floor.
euros. Oh, on the
Yeah,
floor. Okay,
he's on the floor. But
it's a lot of money.
something just bugs me about the whole thing. It's like they've waited this long they're broke. You know,
Yeah,
one of them got divorced, and look, I get it. It's a business, it's a job, and when you got to get money, you got to go to work.
yeah.
But something just rubs me wrong about it. The way they're coming out holding hands, and they're like, Just looks a bit cringe. Like, don't get me wrong, the music's cool. I caught one of the last shows in Madison Square Garden in New York, before they jacked,
Oh,
and that
nice.
was probably one of the worst shows I've
Oh,
ever seen.
wow. There you go.
It was at the height of them arguing. Like,
Oh,
one
okay.
was here and one was here and one was facing this way and this one. It was just like you
Wow.
could really see what it was something like they're after thumping the head off each other or something
Mm,
backstage. They just like it was bad. But the music is, everybody knows the music. I
of
understand
course.
it,
Of course.
but
Yeah.
something rubs me wrong about it.
Yeah. Are you doing it for the love or like Metallica are a great example. They're not doing
Yeah,
it for
they
the
don't need the
money.
money. No, no.
They just want to play. They just want to get out and they don't want to be touring. They don't want to do 200 shows in the year. 20, 30 shows a year is enough. Enough for them.
I
As long
think
as,
they need it, and it's like you
yeah.
said, it's not financial reasons. I think it's just their DNA. It's
Yeah.
in them. It's like you said, they don't need it. Like, what is it? James is worth like 300 million or something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
And they're still writing new material and I'm sure they're going to have a new album out very soon. That's they're musicians that they need to do it.
Well, we have to talk on the topic that dropped there this morning. I know there's been whispers that the sphere is on
Yes.
the forecast. Let's just say,
So what have
I
you
didn't.
heard? And I'll tell you what I've heard.
I heard about a month or two ago that it's a done deal.
Yes.
Because I thought that Japan would have been after Australia. I would have thought they would have done
Yeah.
Japan. I
They
know my
have
buddy Luke.
they still haven't done Japan yet. They didn't do it
Yeah,
for this tour. And normally when they do Australia, they'll do that
yeah,
Australasia where they'll
yeah,
do
yeah,
China, South Korea, Philippines, Thailand.
yeah.
But they haven't done it yet. Although I've
I
got good word in China that they've also approved their visa as well, or
That's
it's
good.
open for them to come here.
Yeah, I did hear that they done a kind of background check of the venues and logistically and stuff like that. Something that I heard, which I don't know is fact, this is just rumors,
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
that they checked out what was available and just didn't suit the stage, what was
Okay.
available, and
It
it,
needs to be a big, big arena.
yeah,
That stage is huge.
oh, it's mad.
Absolutely. Yeah.
When I walked out in Madrid, I was like, whoa, like the towers, like when you try to explain to somebody how big the towers are, they're like, I'm like, no, you've no idea. They're huge. Like
Yeah.
that stadium in Madrid, that was like a high, seating area. Like it was quite steep as well. And you could kind of see the top of them walking up, and I'm like, I don't
One
know
of the
what exactly is the height of them. I'm sure somebody knows, but damn, they're high.
One of the best shows I've been to, that one in Madrid. The crowd were just so insane. They'd just won the European Cup.
Yeah, on the
Um,
Sunday.
and maybe I should save this for my interview, but we were standing, sorry. I was on Kirk's side and there was a couple next to me, maybe in their early 30s. Nothing Else Matters was played.
Oh yeah.
He got down on one knee on the in the mosh pit and proposed to his girlfriend when
Wow.
Nothing Else Matters happened, and his mum was there. Oh, it was just even I was trying to hold back the tears as well. That was
Yeah.
such a
It
beautiful
was
thing.
yeah, I felt really special. We could only get seated tickets for the first night,
Mm.
and we were like on the 100s. We were decent enough, and we were row one. I remember, like it was pretty good, but it's not the same. But I remember there was a Spanish guy sitting next to me and his girlfriend, and he had very little English, and I have no Spanish. But uh, the little bit that we got, it was his first show,
Oh
and
no, cool.
he was a guy in his probably early 20s. And to watch, not that I was like staring at him, but to watch him express the emotion that for the first time that Metallica gave him at a show, I
Yeah.
was kind of lumping my throat. I'm like, ah. And I remember
Yeah.
one song, and I've said this probably several times on my own podcast, is that there was something special about the day that never comes for me at that show.
Oh yeah.
I think it was night one, and I remember I don't really like sitting at shows, but it is what it is. But I remember kind of in my chair, everyone was kind of standing up, and that song came on, and I remember just kind of going down in my chair, and it was maybe 30 seconds into the song, and I remember just like taking a breath and just looking around me and just going, I'm so fucking happy right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is what I've been building up for the last few months, looking for. I'm like, it's happening. This is it. Like, I was just like,
So
oh, it's just the
as
best.
as those moments, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
those moments that you have.
The
Yeah,
Sunday night
man.
we had a good experience too. We got we got some comp seats. We kind of got in the areas with the family and friends and stuff, which was
Oh,
very
there you
very
go.
cool.
Wow,
Yeah.
very nice. Let's go back to the Spear. You know about this show?
Sorry, yeah, I went way off there. So yeah, what I heard from, let's say, my American friends was that yes, it was booked. They looked at Japan and the logistics didn't weigh up,
Yeah,
so this window became available. Again, this is just me guessing,
rumors. Yeah.
and the window was available in the Sphere, and I believe it was Lars that really wanted to tick the box.
Mm,
Um, and that I think there could be a couple of weeks residency. I'm not sure how many, maybe six, maybe 10. Um, but can you imagine the just being there and
yeah.
all the images that we grew up with coming to life? Oh
Yeah.
shit.
I heard six, and then another friend told me it could be up to 16.
Tickets, I don't know how many people fit in there. Someone said maybe like 15 to 20,000.
Yeah. Yep. But the thing
Like,
is, the seats are better up rather than
yeah.
down because you'll be close to the band, but you won't be able to get to see the whole
Yeah, it's
uh
more of a visual
screen.
thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
I can only imagine. But you have to remember, Craig, right? Right, let's just say, for instance, it's eight shows. Let's go in the middle between
okay.
six and 10. Every musician in the world is want to go to it, along as us.
Oh yeah. Uh
Family, friends, corporate, all this stuff. There's going to be very little tickets left for regular guys like ourselves.
that's the thing that I asked when we were talking about that is like, are they going to have a fan club only show? I think they did that for the 40th anniversary shows. One of those dates was a fan club only show.
Right.
So hopefully, and I'm sure they will do something for the fan club if they, or the fifth the fifth member now.
Yes.
But the legacy, I'm sure they'll do something for that if they were
Mm.
gonna do like a six, eight shows in the one spot. Because yeah, like you said, corporate people coming from all over the world, all the celebrities will want to buy tickets and will pay anything to get there. But then old Joe Blow wants to go and have a ticket with his son and won't be able to afford it. So yeah, they're gonna have to
Would
about
you go?
yeah, I would, yeah. Particular girl who's living in Australia now, and she goes to nearly every show and she does that. She flies in the day before and is like, how do you do it?
I,
How do you
yeah,
do it? And then go to the Metallica show. And she
I've
said,
listened to
oh,
a couple of your podcasts. I think that, yeah, was it you had one with all the girls, the Metallica kind of female?
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
enjoyed that one. I
yeah.
listened to that one.
So that was Camilla, and
Yeah.
she's actually in the film that's about to come out. How Metallica saved uh
Oh, yes.
her
Yeah.
life. So she was one of that. But she goes to every show. So the first story was, oh yeah, I talking about her trip to Antarctica to see Metallica
That
and
was
how she.
unbelievable.
So that was just an amazing story, and I picked three girls, sorry, ladies that all had different backgrounds.
It was brilliant. Fair play to you. I really enjoyed that. I was driving around Ireland and I was like, and then the story of getting seasick and the
Yeah,
crew being there and didn't know if they were going to make it. It was so good. It was
yeah.
so good. I would have been
That
terrified. I would have been terrified on that boat. I swear to God.
Yeah, you get those fans that, you know, are just doing it for show numbers and I've done this better than you and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that topic
I
always
kind
comes.
of
Mm,
yeah. Some people, not all everybody, each to their own. I don't judge anybody, but
mm.
yeah, I feel like some people can get a little bit too competitive and stuff like that, and it's like it's not a race, you know. It's not, you know. It's even with the. I understand it's a business, but like the merch and stuff and the pop-up shops and all that. Again, each to their own. I don't, you know, judge, but just me personally. I think it's just kind of getting out of hand. People getting up at 4 in the morning, like, and then the first thing they do is put them on eBay, and it's like,
Yeah,
are you doing it to make money, or are you doing it for the love of the band?
yeah, absolutely. And
But
yeah, I
again,
agree. I
each to their
agree.
own.
Each to their own, exactly. Tell us where we can find you, social medias. Uh, where's the best
Yes,
place to find you for international listeners?
probably most active on Instagram if you want to connect with us personally with a DM or whatever. Facebook, we don't really run that page. It's just linked to our Instagram page. But yeah, we're on Acast, so we're available on Spotify and Apple or wherever you get your podcasts. And we've been pushing YouTube. We've a lot of YouTube videos as well that
Great.
we've been doing kind of a lot of Metallica stuff, a lot of Thin Lizzy, Pantera, a lot of different stuff, album reviews, interviews, and chit chats with like-minded people like ourselves. So yeah, search that same podcast and you'll find us.
Very cool. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Probably something like just do what makes you happy.
That's pretty good advice.
Mm.
If you were able to go back and talk to a teenage self, what would you say to him?
Probably don't be afraid to show your true colors.
Mm.
Um, don't try to fit in with people that you're not fully invested into, and don't care what other people think. Like I said, just do what makes you happy.
Were you a shy guy at school?
No, but
Okay.
I felt like I kept a little bit in. I
Okay.
kept my hard rock and my metal in because I was kind of ashamed a little bit, maybe, you know,
Okay.
embarrassed that, you know, because my other friends were like, "Oh, Slipknot, what's that? That's crazy." And I should have said, you know,
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
All
yeah,
right. Last part of the podcast. Um,
yeah.
give me your top two or three favorite things. I'll give you some topics. All right. Who are your top two or three favorite bands of all time as of today?
As of today,
Hmm.
I gotta say Metallica,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say Thin Lizzy, and I know that's like, oh, he's the Irish guy. He's got to say Thin Lizzy, but no, I
Mate,
because I've gone back and started reviewing the early stuff, especially
mm,
the three piece with Eric Bell and Brian Downey, and it's kind of more bluesy, more soulful, more funky. So good, and
oh,
how the
nice.
band developed and how they put Ireland on the map too, which is a big help. I have to say Thin Lizzy, and let me go something random then another band.
I saw you put Pearl Jam on there with Matt Cameron. I saw that.
Yeah, yeah. Pearl Jam. I've caught them a few times. Yeah, let's go Pearl Jam.
Yeah. Top three favorite shows of all time.
Well, I gotta say the '06, the anniversary of Puppets with Metallica.
It's hard to beat.
Uh, I gotta say I went to a music festival in Tennessee called Bonnaroo
Oh
in
yeah.
'08, and um,
Who was on that?
Metallica, Pearl Jam, Robert Plant,
Oh.
MGMT were there. I remember back in the day. Glenn Hansard. I don't know if you're
Oh
familiar with him,
yes.
and
Yeah. Of course.
I got to hang out with him backstage and
Wow. There you
have a
go.
few beers. He was on a small stage, and we had an Irish flag like I have up here, and he was like, "Are you guys really Irish?" Or he was like, I'm like, "No, no, we're Irish." And he goes, "Okay, come up after the show." And we're like, "Okay." So like we went upside the stage, and he was like, "What's the crack? How are you?" So we're like, "Where he's from?" And we told him. He's like, "I'm meant to be flying to Chicago tomorrow to a show, but I want to go to Metallica." He was debating canceling his trip to Chicago.
Just to
He
go
was,
see it.
yeah, yeah.
That's
And then
awesome.
Chris Rock stand up to 80,000 people
Oh, yeah,
that same
right.
weekend. That was a
Wow.
great festival. And let me see one more. I told a story before. I'm going to say another Metallica one, but it was the Death Magnetic tour. And I ended up I ended up actually selling tickets to some guys from Hell's Angels.
Oh, nice.
Because I had two tickets left and I'm like I can't let these go for free and I give them to these two guys and my buddy was like no 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 I'm like what he's like look at their jackets I'm like I don't that was an experience and it was my first and only indoor show of Metallica.
There you go.
Yeah, so sorry, two Metallicas there.
That's all right. What about your
Um,
top three favorite albums of all time?
I'm gonna say Black Sabbath Paranoid.
Classic.
I'm gonna say, you know what I'm really listening to and enjoying lately is Turnstile. Are you familiar with Turnstile?
No.
They're kind of a punk punk band, kind of gone mainstream on the last album. They're really making big tracks on the scene. They've played Glastonbury there recently in England. They're coming to Dublin in November. I got a ticket. Can't wait to see them.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I'm really enjoying that. And one album I always love going back to listening to is Songs for the Deaf by Queens of the Stone Age.
Oh, yes. Yes, very
Yeah,
cool. Very cool. What
great album.
about what about movies? Your top three favorite
Oh,
movies of all time?
I had this conversation yesterday with a guy at work. Um, The Dark Knight.
Okay.
Um, I love Life with Eddie Murphy and Mark
Oh,
Lawrence.
nice. Nice, yes.
I love that movie. And let me see. I was going to say Shawshank Redemption, but everybody says that. Oh, Goodfellas.
Very cool. Last one. Who is your greatest inspirational hero and why?
Ooh, we can go deep here.
Yeah.
I gotta say my mom.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up. My parents divorced when I was 8, and I had three sisters and one with special needs, and my
Mm.
mom got us through everything and
Yeah, right.
good life, and she worked hard, and yeah, gotta give a shout out to my mom.
I think that's a great way to end it, Gavin.
Yeah,
Thank you very much for your time.
yeah, thank
Uh,
you. Really enjoyed it.
the podcast is it's gradually getting bigger and better, and
Yeah.
I hope all for the best. And then are we going to spoil it? We're going to do a reverse. You're going
Oh
to
yeah,
do.
definitely,
I'm going to
definitely.
have
We're
it.
gonna have you. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, love it. I really enjoy your podcast too, man. So it'd be a pleasure to have you on. We're only a small podcast, as you said. We're growing, we're gaining legs. Um, but like we said earlier, just love chatting to people like yourself, and can't wait to get you on.